So this program reading in 1 and delimited by comma, 2, which is next int, read in and put into num1, num2, and 3. And delimiter is looking for the comma to terminate, which if I'm not putting comma yet and I hit enter, it will not terminate. But when I hit enter, I actually put a character like /n escape sequence, right? New line characters. If I keep doing that, then if I hit comma at this point, it's going to terminate because we use delimiter with comma. But next in is try to read in an integer. But it seems like this is no longer integers. It's integer and the characters, new line characters. So we get the errors, input mismatch exception at this line because at line number 27 because it's reading in not an integer. So that's why the input is not an integer. It's a mismatch. So that's the reason. So in the test, if you see something like that, you should be able to answer the reason why it's doing this. Now, for your class exercise 2.3, 2.2, you're going to do the same with no delimiter when reading from keyboard at the end. Meaning that you're going to rewrite the program from 2.1 using read input from keyboard and making sure that the program is not requiring the delimiter at the end. Like for example, if I put the delimiter at the end, it will work. But if I don't have it, it's going to throw exception, input mismatch. Okay. And now for this one, you're required to do generate Javadoc and submit a zip version of doc folder, which I'll show you. You see now we don't have any doc folder like this one has doc folder. Javadoc is a place where you're going to explain about the program, right? Now if I want to do Javadoc, I have to do /*. Okay. To generate Javadoc, you go to project, generate Javadoc. This is through Eclipse. Okay. Make sure you configure to where you install your JDK C program files Java. JDK 1.8.0_101, just like when you do CD, when you do the console CMD, right? Or terminal. You have to set the path to this location. Bin and pick the Javadoc instead of Javac. Normally you set path for Javac. And pick the project. Now I want to do generate Javadoc for project 2.2. And the location, I'm going to leave it to generate doc folder in the same location here. Which you don't see any doc folder at this point. Once I hit finish and do the generating, so it's going to output a message and the doc folder is showing up. Okay, so this is a Javadoc that just like scanner Javadoc, but it's Javadoc for our Javadoc. See the comments that I put on the message showing up now, right on the Javadoc. Same comments here. If you wanted to go a new line, you see author, annotation author, just specify the author here. You probably just going to do /br. You can do /br or just br like that. Br / like that, I mean. If you wanted to show like in separate line. You can regenerating this again once you make the change. And you see when I do the BR slash, it's going to break, stand for line break, break the line. So this is the requirement that you need to do. Okay. Generate Javadoc, and you're going to submit the, once you generate Javadoc, it's going to create doc folder with dependencies or the HTML. This is a web page. So that's why this BR is the HTML tag, stand for break line, go new line. You just need to open index.html. Since you're going to have more than one, what you can do, you can submit either the class name.html file or just zip the whole folder like doc. What you can do, you can just go to this path, right? You can copy or just hit that. It's going to open the path for you, and then right click and zip that, compress it, or attach that scanner keyboard.demo, okay, and submit to your Dropbox, okay, with your file, and do the record that you can generate a Javadoc. Make sense? Alright, so that's a requirement for 2.2. Now, add appropriate comments as necessary too. Now, when you add a comment, you should not add too many comments when it's not necessary. Like scanner, read input from file. I mean, this read input pretty much is not necessary, right? We already know scanner used for read input, right? But this is important. Explain about the program, what program is going to do. Now, when's the time that you use the single line comment inside? Like for example, if I want to write a program to find the sum of a sequence, so I should explain it right there. Otherwise, if I don't have the comments here and no comments here, it's going to be very difficult. Like if you try to read this, do you understand what this program is going to do? No way, because what is this, right? How did you get the sum of the sequence? So that's why I try to explain it here. Using Sn to find the sum, right? Sn is the arithmetic series, which I explained here. Sum of the sequence, arithmetic sequence. And I have the links to reference. So that makes it your program more easier, right, to read. And it's even for yourself, like 1 year from now, you may forget what you try to do here. And this is the reason why we want to generate Javadoc. Just like whenever you use scanner applets, you always read this Javadoc. Same thing. The sum of the sequence, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to recoding this. You can just reuse them. So that's why Javadoc is very important to go along with your class. Then you pretty much understand when you not try to read and use it, or somebody else try to use the program again. So that's why this chapter this 2.2 we want to focus on generate Javadoc and add the appropriate comments if necessary. And now your challenge here is you have to explain how, right? That appropriate comments pretty much is going to use to explain how you're going to make a program to get rid of the comma delimiter at the end while the other comma delimiter is still using. So that should be explained your logic, how you do it as a comment inside your program, right? And then the comments for Javadoc and generating it. Now, I would like you to think about how to do this. Okay, first, there are many ways to do this. Okay. And then we'll explain. But I hope you find out how to do that. Like now, you use one delimiter. One way some people do, they just have two scanners. One scanner use delimiter, another scanner just use the default one, which is space or line. That's one way. Another way, just like I said, this can be a pattern that you can use more than just one, comma, space, and so on. Right? And if you look at we call regular expression, Java. So you're depending on the pattern class and invoke the method compiler. Just like if I do if I use the delimiter, if you remember, if you read the use delimiter, like the scanner Javadoc, there's a method that this is Javadoc for scanner. Use delimiter. You can use string and you can use pattern. Pattern is the regular expression that we talk about here, and use the method compile. Right? Pattern object is a compile representation of a regular expression. The pattern class provides no public constructor to create a pattern. You must first invoke one of the public static, which is the method compiler. We'll then return a pattern object. So let's look at how to use this. Like for example, instead of directly put a comma as string, you can use pattern dot compiler and put the comma. That means it's going to look at the compile like the comma only, right? But the good thing about regular expression is you can combine more than just one. Like for example, if you do something like that as a pattern, and you do dot compile and pass in pattern. So this shows that how to find digit string, right, from the given alphanumeric string. Like for example, let's look at this program. So matcher, this is another class. Pattern matcher is just try to match. This order was placed for QT3000 OK. Right, R is the pattern which has the method matcher. Returns if we found the things that in this pattern. The dot asterisk means any, if you read this, dot matches any single characters except new line. Using M option allows it to match new line as well. Right. Like if you use asterisk after that, that means matches 0 or more occurrences of preceding expression. So that means it's matching any right characters